Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the White Newman, a sacred animal tarot created by Elba BG. Website at the bottom of the box here is liminal11.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. Oracle cards, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed. There are some websites in the back here. Feel free to freeze frame and check those out if you're interested. Also, I found the one I was looking for before. At the end of the paragraph with Colette's picture, you'll see the ColetteBaronReed.com. There's a couple others. If you want to freeze frame and check those out, feel free. I got a lot of sunlight coming in all of a sudden. Let's see if I can move this a little bit that way. I don't know. Maybe I can't get rid of the sun. Not that I want to get rid of it, but anyway. What do we have for Aquarius? Aquarius! That was loud. Okay. What do we have? Okay. That might not be bad. I've had that card for myself, and that's been good. You're heading towards the Five of Pentacles. And sometimes people don't like that. This is where this is going to end up. But, like, I don't feel sad with it. I know that they're showing a tear or whatever, but I don't think you're going to be sad about this. Maybe this is something you want to be in the outside for a little while of. Let's go a little farther and see what's going on. Because I feel like I want to block somebody. I want to block something. This is where it's starting. Maybe that's what you want. Something's going on here, and I feel like I've had enough. I feel like I've had enough. Maybe you do want to break from it. I keep getting that Five of Pentacles might not be a bad thing. It may be something, like, I know that card is showing somebody sad, but I don't think you're going to be sad. I'm an intuitive reader, that's how I read, but maybe it's something like, maybe this is going to give you, like, what happens if you do step out of it, or you do block it for a while. Because there's a lot of random energy around this situation. And typically, it's not about handling it. You can handle it. But after a while, you're just kind of like, I'm just kind of done with it. Even though there's a lot of random energy, I feel like it's the same category. It's the same thing. It's kind of like, maybe there's different messes in the kitchen, but there's always a sticky mess in the kitchen. So it's this, it's the jam today, it's the pickle juice tomorrow, somebody left, they were making cookies and they left stuff on the counter. It's a different mess, but it's always a sticky mess. And it's kind of like, I'm fed up with it. Can I handle it? Yeah, but do I need to? Like, seriously? And I feel like I'm looking at this like, maybe it's more time for you. Maybe you need more time for you. I need a break from this, and maybe I need to recharge my battery, and I need to do things that I enjoy more. Yes, Aquarius has a high intellect, but just because your high intellect is very utilized in this situation doesn't mean you have to use it there. Another thing people with high intellects do is they're writers. Doesn't mean you have to be. Or maybe there's other things that you want to do. There's philosophy books. There could be a lot of things. Just figuring out puzzles. Could be building something. Building probably complex things. But I always think of Aquarius as very intelligent. My grandmother was an Aquarius, and she was extremely intelligent. I have a brother that's actually an Aquarius, and he always was smart growing up. He wasn't treated like he was, but he always was smart. I knew he was smart. Because he did certain things with computers that I couldn't even understand how he turned it on, let alone made it do what it did. He clearly is smart. Anyway, I don't know why I'm putting that out there. Whatever's coming forward, it's slowly coming in. This doesn't have to be abrupt. This doesn't have to be jarring or shocking. If you do it slowly, I feel like you can be at peace with it. But it's starting to come forward. The map maker of destiny, along with temperance. I feel like this is just naturally coming in, where you're starting to be pushed to the side, or you're starting to get out of the situation very slowly. It just seems like it's naturally happening on its own, where you're just kind of detaching from it, and you're not dealing with it as much anymore. Could be that somebody else is picking up those messes or starting to instead of you. Maybe they're complaining about it too, but that's them. Somebody else might be coming in and taking over. I got the death card showing up, which to me is a whole new person coming in. Yes, the death card can talk about Scorpio, but it doesn't have to. So yes, you could be dealing with Scorpio, but you don't have to be. This is somebody coming in and taking over. I feel like you don't have to fight that if you don't want to. At first, I feel like it's a little bit of a power struggle. I'm getting the Ten of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles. You're used to handling this. And maybe at first you're going to fight to keep it. But then I feel like if that's what's going, they're questioning, like, do you want to keep it? Do you want to keep it? Maybe you don't want to keep this. You're just used to it. It's a normal thing. And it's kind of like people have their perceptions. You're very good at changing people's minds if you really want to. Maybe you shouldn't fight it. You don't have to fight this. In fact, if it makes you more comfortable, just slowly let go of the reins. Just slowly let this other person take over, and you just keep pulling back little by little. There might be some negative talk about that, but I feel like you can do it. You can nullify that if you want to. If you slowly just let it keep diminishing, let this other person take it over. Clear vision I'm really getting from the Ringmaster of Scrutiny. Scrutinize if you really want this or not. Take it slowly. That way you can feel the difference. See where it's going. See if you can be at peace with that. This is a slow-moving situation, a slow-moving change. I don't think it's going to disappear like in 5 seconds. I feel like it's just going to be slowly changing over time. And I feel like you do have some control about how slowly that is. So like if you want to, take baby steps, or if you want to run, or if you want to take a car. Depends how, it's relative to how you feel it should go. So for example, maybe the situation usually goes at a run, and maybe that's how fast this is changing. So it's like it's a 10-mile change. At a run, it may take a few hours. At a walk, it might take a few days. Or maybe not. Maybe take a day. So like, you know what I mean? You get to decide how fast that's really going to go. Within reason. It's recommended that you just kind of sit back and start watching it happen and decide if you can make peace with it. Whatever the situation is, it doesn't seem to be changing either way. The only change I see happening is somebody else coming in and starting to try to take over. They might think that they're going to change the situation, but what I'm getting is it's not. I get the Six of Cups, like the situation is just going to keep going like it always has. Maybe instead of you picking up the sticky messes, this other person's going to start doing it and thinking they can change things. And then they're going to run into the same roadblocks you ran into. Being on the outside, I still feel like it's not that bad. I feel like if you're out here resting, I feel like this could change things for you. Because while you're outside and you have more of this objective view, you're not in there actually in it, but you're kind of like on the outside, you're resting, you might decide that you need a bigger change. Maybe this wasn't enough of a change. Maybe you're on the outside now and you got some peace because of that. But you're like, you know what? I don't even want to live in this house anymore. So maybe there's another option for me. Okay. I feel like, okay, this might push. All right, I'm going to go with the analogy because I'm getting it. And I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong, but the analogy I'm getting is maybe you have kids with somebody that you're not currently with. And maybe you're used to taking care of these kids by yourself. It's not that you don't love them. You definitely do. I'm getting whoever this is connecting for. You love them. But it's like, it's a lot of work to take care of them on your own, constantly. So the other one wants to be the one doing that. Slowly let that happen. Let the roles, let them have them the majority of the time. Like, slowly transition it, and then just see how it feels. The outcome's going to be the same, but maybe that would be better for you. Maybe it's worth a shot. If this is for you, you know it. If that's something you're hearing that, and you're like, oh God, I don't want that, then it's not for you. Don't do that. But I wouldn't feel bad about making that switch. Because I feel like, for those of you that that's an option for, you're not worried about your children with the other person. It's just maybe you have some guilt, like if I let that happen, is that a bad thing to let happen? And I'm getting that it's not. So if that hits, you know it hits. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Because I feel like whatever this changes, that might be what is kind of holding you back. That analogy might not be literal for you, but it may be figuratively. It may work figuratively because you're feeling guilty of, like, if I let that happen, like, what does that say about me? It doesn't say anything bad about you. It just says you're open to change. And maybe it's for the best for you and for the situation. Maybe. It doesn't make anybody a bad person. Keep that in mind. Are we good? All right. I think we're there. I'm going to shut it down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.